Okay, y'all, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. Um, and this is not about drama. What I'm getting ready to talk about, it's my feelings, and I want to talk about my feelings. I want to talk about my community. And when I say my community, the Black community. And it's not all Blacks, but I see a majority, right? And I've noticed that as a Black professional, we're questioned way more. We're asked to discount our services as well as justify our value more. We're asked to justify our value more. And I don't think that it comes from bad intentions. I truly think it comes from misinformation. People having financial pressure, as well as a long history of just mistrust in our community. And so I want to share with you all something that has happened to me, not once, but twice now. And it didn't bother me the first time that it happened to me because the rules were different than they are today. As of August the 17th, 2024, real estate rules changed on how agents are compensated. I used to could jump up if someone calls and they want to see a house. And I don't just jump up to strangers, but I would be able to run to a house and say, okay, let's go take a look. And so we can no longer do that as of August 2024. We have to sit down and have a consultation and go over the agreements. And that agreement is a buyer agreement. And so I work with both buyers and sellers. And when I first got in the business, I was strictly working with sellers. Buyers came by the way of having listings, right? And so I started working with buyers. And so I always follow law because this is how I feed my family. I don't ever want to ever compromise my license because of $1, right? Doing something unethical. I taught ethics. How dare I go out there and do something crazy, right? And so these clients, been working with them, and I had the agreement signed. We had the agreement signed. And so we finally found the house. They finally found the house. Now, mind you, I'm not one of those brokers that says, oh, get the highest one because that's like ching, ching, ching. That's the bigger house. The more money you spend, the more money I make. I'm not like that. Honestly, I don't count the money. I've learned a long time ago, don't count the money until it's cashed, right? Until the transaction is over, because anything can happen. And I don't take anybody to their max. I actually discourage that. Okay? So they found the house and we went under contract. But before we went under contract, now, mind you, the agreement is already signed, and I sent a text to say, and I'm going to use these, I'm not going to use numbers, right? I'm not going to use numbers. I mean percentages. I'm going to use bananas. Bananas. So on my agreement with them, they agreed, my fee, you got to give me 5 bananas, right? You got to give me 5 bananas at the close of transaction. Now, sellers, it used to be also because whenever we would jump up and meet people without signing agreements, whenever we went into the database, which is the multiple listing service, you could see how many bananas were being offered by the listing agent. If you bring me a buyer, we co-op, this is what you'll get. We can no longer see that. Even if I'm working with the seller, that's the one thing I can't do. I can't let the agents know in the MLS if there's anything that's being compensated. Okay? So, my agreement is signed. we go under contract. The agent tells me, hey, my seller is giving 3 bananas. I said, okay, great. And I tell my clients, you don't have to give me all 5 bananas because they're giving me 3. You just have to give me the 2. Now, mind you, they agreed to give me all 5. But it also states that if the seller is willing to give me bananas, then they make up the difference. And so they was like, oh no, we're not paying you that. Excuse me? Oh no, this house is already expensive. You should just be happy and take what the sellers are giving you. Let me just tell y'all something. I could have fell to the floor. And I was like, wow. So wait a minute. This agreement that we signed, that I clearly went over with you all, said that you would give me 5 bananas. And if the seller was giving anything, you would make up the difference. And they said, yeah, but this house is too expensive. That wasn't in the agreement. I didn't show you this house based off of you being able to pay me. And it really pissed me off. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'll be real transparent with y'all. It pissed me off. Because it's like, so you don't value what I was able to do. You don't value my advice, the time, the inconveniences. None of that? Okay. Yeah, we know you did. You've done a good job, and we know you do this and you do that. But no, we ain't gonna be able to do that. Like, that's what they told me. That's what they told me. And I know that it's not just me in this transaction. They want that home. The seller needs to sell that home. The other agent needs to be compensated. The lender, the attorneys, everybody. It's so much bigger than me. And I was like, wow, this is that, and this is my channel. This is that shit. This is the shit that we talk about, right? And I know it's not all of us. I'm not going to say that because it's not. But I see it a lot when it comes to Black professionals. People wanting to discount, or when it's time to pay up, everything is great. They want the best of the best. But when it's time to settle, nah, we ain't paying all that. You didn't do this or you didn't do that. Then it comes to that. Happened one other time, and that was when I was in the business. Had just probably gotten my license, and I had billboards up all over the place because I had just opened. I just got my license. I had just opened my brokerage. I had billboards up, and this gentleman kept calling me because I was out of town. And he said, when you get back, I really want you to come and list this house for me, whatever, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, great. I was excited. You see my billboards, great. And I go over there, and after we talked and I laid out everything that I would do and whatever, and I told him what my fee was. And he asked me, he was like, no, he said, man, can you give me a little break? Can you do this? Now, mind you, I didn't know him from anybody else. I'm a professional. And I asked him, you do have a job, right? And he said, I do. And I said, and when you go to your job and you do what's expected of you, and you expect to be compensated properly, right? What you're supposed to get paid. How would you feel if your employer told you, I know you did a great job, you showed up on time, you did exactly what you were supposed to do, but we just want to give you this. We don't want to pay you your regular pay. What you're worth, right? And he was like, wow. And he said, I never thought of it like that. And I'll be honest with y'all, I didn't work with him. And that was a time I didn't have the situation I have like now. I had debt. I had a child in private school. I was divorced and I was renting. I needed the money. But I was like, no. And I wanted to walk away from this deal so bad, guys. I wanted to walk away from this deal. But I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and push through this. And it just does not feel good. I don't work with just my community. I work with people. I'm not going to charge this group of people more than I charge that group of people. My fee is my fee. No. And so it doesn't feel good. If we want Black professionals to stay working in our communities and in business, continue serving our communities, contracts have to be respected, not just in real estate, business. Contracts have to be respected, even when it's uncomfortable. I'm LaTrasha. I'm a licensed real estate broker here in the state of Georgia, as well as I'm licensed in the state of Alabama. But I'm also a mortgage loan originator, which means I can also get you the money to get the home. If you like what I shared, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Definitely hit that subscribe button and share. So when I drop videos, you'll be notified. And yeah, I'm on to going, reaching 250 subscribers. I need your help. But we got to do better. We just have to do better, guys.